It is fall 1941, and German paratroopers are on their way to drop deeper behind Soviet lines to push deeper into Soviet territory, winning victory after victory, left and right against the Soviets. The Germans are almost unstoppable and should surely take over the Soviet Union before winter, right? I'm pretty sure. Anyway, welcome back, everybody. Good to see you all here. Let's get up on that line and push the Soviets onto that farm. We're going to try to get some reinforcements here, but first, we need to cut down the Soviets who are blocking the way and see if we can get some defenses up, too, against the initial, or inevitable, rather, Soviet tank forces. Good to have everybody here for a continuation of the Serhenko mod. We're going to continue to grab some weapons here and ammo and equipment to stop Soviet tanks from showing up and cut down their troops at the farm. MG-34s are firing into that farmstead there. Our goal here today is going to have to be to come over here to knock out some of these anti-tank guns that are blocking our advance across the rail tracks, and we'll have to make sure that we can get our tanks across here very shortly and shoot at any tanks that come around. I'm going to try to get on the PZB-41 and cut down any tanks that are coming our way. Let's get all of our soldiers here. Volksjägers, of course, are the German variant, or the Wehrmacht German military variant of paratroopers, and they are very good at getting behind enemy lines because of their mobility, and then eventually cutting down the troops because of their veterancy. Wow, we've actually got a Soviet tank there, and we're firing at that. Excellent. Soviet tank knocked out a T-26, which is armed with a 45mm gun there. And that is a very good win for us. A big win, because that could have decimated our entire military. I hear another tank coming, a T-34, 76 now approaching. AT guns are firing at two T-34 76s. Oh, this is an absolute nightmare. If we can't cut those tanks down, one AT gun out of the way. If we can't take these tanks down, it's GG for the Volksjäger. That is a very difficult double tank to deal with, and hopeless to scratch it with the PZB-41. That is only a 28mm. Maybe in the side. Let's give it a shot, literally. Oh, and unfortunately that troop getting shot. We're going to have to do something more against these tanks. I guess it's time for the Volksjägers to... Oh my goodness, look at all these tanks! Unfortunately, we don't have Panzerfaust, or Panzer Schrecks, really, at this time, but we do have grenades. So while they're busy dealing with our troops, we'll be busy dealing blows to their military. Got some more AT weapons. Oh my god, is that a KV-1 as well that showed up? Are you kidding me? Alright, our troops need to stay in cover. We're probably going to lose some troops. I don't think I have a medic, but while the Soviet tanks are distracted by our infantry, we're flanking their massive tank forces. KV-1 only been slightly irritated, I think, by that. And it looks like it's lost its engine, but the crew is still able to fire. Oh, damn. And unfortunately, that trooper there losing his life by standing in front of that machine gun port. I was trying to get to it beforehand. Luckily, we've only taken a few losses. Not bad considering the fact that we just spiked two tanks. Actually, a third one with that T-26 being destroyed. And actually, maybe better than the anti-tank grenades would be some TNT. Let's try for that. Wow, the fact that we've only lost a few soldiers and the Soviets have lost 3 tanks, 1 heavy tank, a light tank, and 2 medium tanks, shows us in a pretty good light. Alright, that tank is now dead, on fire, and no one alive in there, I hope. It still looks like it is able to fire. It is marked on the minimap as a red vehicle. Obviously, it's communist, but hold on, let's just walk in front. Are you kidding me? How? How is that possible? That's impossible. Let's try to deal with him. He's trying to use the rear machine gun now on the turret. Alright, how about that? Okay, well, that's about as good as I can do for the T-34, or the KV-1. Alright, so it looks like a couple of men on the AT guns were killed, and 1 in the raid of the tanks. Okay, let's take the forest now, or the village just outside the forest over here. And then we'll flank to the forest and capture that area up at the top. Alright, KV-1 has pretty much dealt a formidable blow. We now need to get up top and capture the remaining positions. I need machine gunners. Let's get up there, boys. And you come over here and block those Soviets from bringing down reinforcements on the road. I need some more machine gunners up here, please. Cut down anything that moves in that village. There we go. Wow. Well, these missions are certainly not easy. We got very lucky with our destruction of those tanks. That one still has a crew member inside, but there are actually historical accounts of Soviet troops staying inside their vehicles after a tank being essentially knocked out and just manning, like, for example, a rear machine gun or a gun that was disabled just to fire at the Germans as they advanced. Very honorable to try to hold to the very last man and stay to their orders to help their comrades down the line. Alright. Let's go ahead and get some troops up here. And into the trenches to throw some grenades. We can also use some of these trucks for supply. And you bet the Soviets are probably going to come up here and attack us shortly. So the only thing we really have against them is a Pak-36. So let's go ahead and see if we can get that repaired. I do have one AT gun. That one's destroyed. And a small ammunition box, which I think we've already used. Uh-oh. Oh no, another T-26. Into the trench. Oh, somebody throwing a small grenade there. Alright, T-26 is rolling up. So we can get behind him. Oh, and an instack one and done. Looks like there is a pack gun there. A small Soviet, what is that, the M37? M37. That thing is essentially just a sniper rifle on wheels. Gonna try to wait for that T-26 to get a little closer. Oh, hopefully he... Oh, okay. So much for that. Those 45mm guns are just zapping our troops. The only reason they're exploding like that is because they're carrying a AT grenade. And if this were more realistic, obviously a tank rolling down a road wouldn't be able to turn and burn on a soldier like that. But it looks like this tank is going to suffer a fate of the previous one. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. That's what I want to see. Beautiful. Okay, we should be able to clear out the rest of this area now. So let's get our troops into position here to cover. Gonna need some reinforcements here for our couple casualties. Well, the Soviets have certainly lost more in manpower and machines than we did. So we're winning that way. Alright, into the trench to clear out the other side. And the only other threat that remains is that M37, which we're going to have to get access to this trench to deal with. So let's see if we can get close. Throw a couple grenades in. Sir? Let's throw a grenade in there. Beautiful. Oh, looks like there is actually a large AT gun here. The game might... I've been trying to play this game without capturing enemy equipment. However, this might require us to do that if we face off against something like the KV-1 again, and all we have is Pak-36s. So in order to proceed, I might need to capture a large AT gun or AA gun such as this one here, the 52K. So if it requires us to do that, I will do that. Okay, well, it looks like the village is clear. We just need to capture the flag, and we are now. And then we need to destroy the AT gun position on the other side, which looks to have been cleared, actually. So there we go. Defend enemy counterattack. It's coming from the north. So exactly where the T-34-85s, or rather just the T-34s, and then also the KV-1 came from. That's where we need to defend. We got about 2 minutes and 40-something seconds to prepare. And we've got, unfortunately, a KV-1 out there still. So I think, given the fact that we are faced off against such gargantuan tanks, it's just gonna be necessary to grab that that flak gun there. And this guy's already shooting at that thing. Sir, you're not gonna penetrate that armor. Don't even try. Oh, he's just pissing him off. Oh, never mind. He can't do anything. He's just inside that tank there. And that tank is turreted. Alright, we'll try to fling that AT gun around. The AA gun. Let's see here. And we also have a AA gun, or AT gun here that we can utilize. So let's give that a shot. I'm also going to try to defend. Our reinforcements are going to come from the south across from those railroad tracks. Oh, whoa, whoa, sir. Whoa. Actually, I just hadn't played this mod in a while. I forgot that we need line of sight for certain things, so they were kind of hidden in the fog of war. That's a shame. That's a machine gunner. Oh, good. At least they all dove on the grenade. That makes my job easier. That's okay. We can get one of the riflemen to pick up that machine gun and carry on. Good. Alright, rifleman. I'll grab that MG. Much more important than the rifle now. Throw out some of that stuff to pick up some more machine gun ammo. He's now a machine gunner. Good, and that'll help us to secure the other side. Looks like one of the Soviet troopers was able to grab a gun. Oh, looks like the M37 is occupied again. Okay, let's get this gun over to this side. Got about a minute to move things around. And we will need to deal with whoever's on that gun. Dealing with these guns is very dangerous. If you approach them, they can turn about as fast as a rifleman could turn. There's a couple of Soviet stragglers out there, so we'll deal with them if they come across the marsh or down the road. And I actually hear Soviet tanks approaching. At least I think I do. Maybe I do. Alright, we do need to get this gun up here. So 31 seconds to try to get some of these guns up into position. No reinforcements for us, but we are building points for our next wave. And because the Soviets are throwing KV-1s at us, it would be absolutely important for us to bring up 85 millimeters. There's nothing else I can use to stop those. Are you repairing that, sir? No, thank you. Double track now, turreted. 85 millimeter from the side. They are finally wiped out. Or at least decrewed. Okay, the tank crews, or rather the gun crews, have brought their guns into position. We will probably face off against T-34s. And the Soviets in the rear have been eliminated as well. Okay, Soviet attack is incoming. Small tanks such as the T-26 31. I was just zapped by a big O AT gun. They will probably bring something a little more than just these. Although that damn thing is a nightmare there. T-60, no thank you, on wheels, on tracks. I zap that thing. Don't let it lay eggs. Wow, they deleted the small AT gun that we had. Those small, tiny AT guns that we brought really didn't have much of a chance. Jeez, we need AT gun. After you fought back the counterattack, attack the enemies in the back to gain more access to reinforcements. Okay, so once we've dealt with this forward attack, we'll just attack the troops on the other side of the railroad tracks, and then we receive reinforcements from here. Well, good thing we did grab that gun. I would have not been able to stop those tanks. They would have overrun us with speed. And it looks like just a T-70 there. No, T-26. Oh, and that's dead too. Alright, lots of stragglers remaining. And with our few remaining troops, we will clear this area out, no problem. That's going to be a problem. Never mind. Maybe a small problem. Also, there's something over here unmanned. Ooh, that's another small problem. Depends on if they get to it or not. Boom. Alright, let's try to work on clearing out that position. We should be able to... Actually, if we capture that left position, we'll be able to get troopers ASAP. So our goal should be to capture that position on the left then. Get that flagged area. How did the Soviet crawl up here? Sir, peekaboo. Gotcha. Alright, we'll let those guys hold back. Meanwhile, we'll have a 4-man squad go up here and try to clear out the Soviet position near here. And that looks explosive. That would be good. M37 is damn deadly. I don't want him turning that gun on me. That may as well be a 20 millimeter autocannon. Well, we can get those troops into position, then try to ambush them. Soviets are still attacking. Looks like we got another straggler coming up here. Sir? Sir? Thank you. He didn't pay to get in. This is the new Reich, so, you know, this is our border now, right here. We got a cover charge to get in. And look at that, the tank actually exploded causing the tree and a few men possibly to, yep, burst into flame. Good. Oof, I don't want that thing coming near me. Alright, well, Soviet troops have been ordered forward. And we're cutting them down with the machine guns, so let's go back here. Grab some ammo and then make an attack on that left flag. I want to get the reinforcements first. And we can easily brush aside any defenders here. They don't even have the AT gun under their command. Going forward, I'll try not to use this AT gun if we don't have to. Sir. Sir. There we go. $5 cover charge to get into our new territory. Okay, so over the railroad tracks and through the woods to the Soviet flag we go. The troops know the way as they've studied day after day. And something about Grandma's house. Alright, so this is where our troops are going to spawn in from. So as soon as we capture that flag, I think we get some free reinforcements, and then we'll get to choose from tank destroyers and some medium armor too. Tank destroyer is probably going to be some early Stoogs. It is 1941, so at this point in time there's not too much. It is fall of 41, so we'll get some better assets than we had in June. It looks like our troops are not able to fire from there, so let's flank up here with them. Want to stay out of the range of that gun, if I can. And our troops are better trained and have much better equipment than the Soviets at this point. Okay, a few more troops eliminated. Whoa, there we go. Angry Boy is making his presence known. My goal now is to try to throw grenades and take that crew out on that gun. Just staying down so the Soviets don't see me. That gun is trained on me, though. Oh. Like a middle school crush. Oh, get that grenade going, boy. Oh, we got it. Very good. That was the Hail Mary. One more grenade toss. Okay, we should be in business now. Let's try to just quickly flank over here. That guy's getting shot at, so that's fine. This is fine. Yeah, good. They distracted him. Okay, a couple more troops to eliminate. Very clever, this mission. You go deep into enemy territory to eliminate a heavier defensive position, then come back and sweep up all the defenses. And the Soviets now losing their flag. Alright, so we've got one side of the roadway. The other side does still have an AT gun, so we'll have to be cautious about that. 2 AT guns. They've now managed to man it. Some of our troops now out of ammunition. Oop, and now our reinforcements should arrive. But we'll keep them back. They shouldn't be able to engage until we've eliminated them all. They'll keep way back. Alright, looks like some more troops. We could probably bring them up on the right side and push deeper into enemy territory. Now, I think there were also some missions called Sir Henkel's Lost missions that involved the invasion of Poland, too, earlier in 39. So it'd be quite interesting to give those a shot, too. Now, we need to capture all of this high ground in order to have victory here. So there's kind of a little manor here and some different high ground. The Soviets have some good dug-in positions, as I recall. A good AT gun here. The biggest thing I'm worried about is that right there, the 85mm K52. So our goals then will try to be to push up that way. Let's have the Folsom Jaegers have been fighting the good fight for a long time, or at least in our war. Now, I think the reason I bring up the Poland mission is I remember from Sir Henkel's that there actually is like a guard post here, and you have to cross in the wetlands on the flank to get across the Polish border. And this map always reminded me of that. So we'll have to go play that as well. So if you'd like to see more, make sure you show your support then. As always, get aggressive with loving this content, because you know YouTube doesn't want you seeing it. It's scary, it's got guns, it's got history in it, and that's all you and scary. You know, can't let that on the platform. So regardless, it will be cool to see those missions. It's been a long time since I played this, but even longer since I played Sir Henkel's Lost mission. So I'm going to try to give that a peek too. We got lots of time to play along with this one. Alright, let's clear the rest of these defenders out of the way so we have an open door to reinforce the Folsom-Jägers at the farm, who are cutting it up with enemy troops. Although they are running out of ammunition. And that's going to be bad. We're going to have to fall back. Let's actually get those reinforcements to the front line. I don't want to lose that farmland. And let's call out another Wehrmacht group. We'll actually call up the Panzer Grenadiers to deal with this. Although I'm a little hesitant about their vehicle. Let's get some Strasstroop too. There we go. We'll get them together, and then we'll clear out that other side and then start bringing up some tanks. We don't really have much for tanks at the moment. I can recall that it was very light, if anything. Yeah, Panzer III, that's probably not anything I want to use. Troops are falling back to get more ammunition. So let's get those reinforcements up there ASAP. Not too many enemy troops remaining. Oh, hello. Uh-oh. AI, I think, has been disabled. These troops were firing HE, which can destroy that tank. Yes, indeed it did. And they got decrewed yet again. There's so many infantry coming through. Luckily, reinforcements have arrived. The Wehrmacht is here. There we go. Some of these guys needing medical attention, but we don't have any medics nearby. Looks like the Germans were trying to capture something? Nope. Thought they had a gun or something captured. Let's get this Panzerschreck out of here. Or the Panzer Grenadiers out of here. Oh, I need some Panzerschrecks. I wish I could have some. Alright, we got plenty of infantry here now. Let's start battling it out. Let's go right flank again with these troops. And the Folsom-Jägers here should be able to fire on these guys if they get crabby. They start getting a little antsy and start shooting. Oh, looks like their AT gun is aimed at us. Good. That'll let our troops get closer. Okay, the road is primarily cleared. So now we have to deal with the first line of Soviet defense up here now that the way is open. And I'm mostly going to want infantry here to deal with a lot of these tight places and AT guns. It's really not area that German tanks can work through, and Soviet tanks are going to be coming out for reinforcement from time to time. So let's see what we got for AT guns. Pak-38, not great. Tank Destroyer, Stug 3, not great. Martyr 1, decent. I don't remember what that's armed with, but we will need... Oh, here's one. Oh, 75mm Pak-40, good. We're going to need those for T-34s. Okay, infantry is in place. Let's get ready to cover this... Hold on, whoa. There we go. Cover this position, boys. We'll get a squad to come in from behind. These guys are covering just in case anybody runs. Let's actually pop into that position. And attack. Guys are out in the open, so let's crawl up there. And these guys have a little bit more cover on the other side of this. There's just a little bit of a hill. So that'll provide a little bit of concealment for what we're trying. Alright, there we go. Alright, and just up over the railroad tracks, and we'll finish them off. There we go. That was easy. Okay. That was much better with all that reinforcement. That would have been quite a challenge with just the Folsom-Jägers. They did a great job. Folsom-Jägers, folks, a round of applause for them. Yeah, they opened up the way for reinforcements. They captured the farm and destroyed quite a few Soviet tanks before being relieved. So they're going to stay back as long as possible. I'll bring them up as needed. And same with our reinforcements. So now we got two Martyr 1s. That's going to be needed against constant Soviet reinforcements. Looks like we also have a Martyr 139, which is 76mm. That's interesting. So let's call that stuff up here. I wonder if that's made from like a captured tank. However, that's more the War Thunder model. And that's looks like possibly an earlier variant. I don't know much about those. Okay, let's go back up here now with Strauss troops. We're going to build up now with infantry. Oh, and the tanks are still attacking. So, without that 85mm, we would have been crushed. There's no way I could hold those Soviet tanks back like that. Alright, let's get all of our force ready to attack. We'll meet everyone meeting up here at the old farm. Get everything together, get our forces building up. We'll need all of our force here in order to attack. And, we've got quite the force, I must say. This is probably one of my favorite missions. The first one is a big favorite, the one you may have seen previously, taking place in June of 41. But this one with the whole behind enemy lines and clearing the way and then bringing up reinforcements and then pushing deeper into enemy territory is very cool. I think we could at least use a Panzer III. Definitely not against T-34s. That was why I started to slip, because my mind was like, danger. T-34s. And also plenty of AT guns. But at least it'll help us to stop waves of infantry, such as these. Ooh, and a mortar. Alright. We'll have to be mindful of that. Soviets have gotten their defenses together after the attack. So this will be our first position to take, and that's really going to irritate the Soviets. Once we capture that, it's going to be a crazy cavalcade of communism coming down these roads. Believe you me. Alright, so the final objective is here. Up on the hill. So we do need to build up for a while, because if the Soviets gain any sort of ground, it's over. We need to make sure we hold area in front of the farm. Really, we should have troops down here when we get a little bit more comfortable. But we'll go for that first flag. Unfortunately, that big old gun there is going to pin us down, and that mortar is not going to be much fun either. So if we can, let's try to get some troops over here to grenade the hell out of that, and then go for that AT gun. So let's have these guys go right. And where's that half-track? Come on up here too. Panzer III's on its way. Very light tank. Incredible that the Germans were able to make so much progress with the equipment that they had at the start. They mostly had the element of surprise. But they certainly made some better tanks. A Tiger tank in 1940 would have probably not have been that much better, really. The Germans were able to make progress because of speed. The Tiger tank was better at cutting through like KV-1s and such, but that's why the Dicker Max was there. Much more overkill than the Tiger, though. 105mm versus a KV-1 versus the 88 at a distance. Alright, Soviet reinforcements are arriving. Looks like they may have spotted us. We've got a machine gun, so I hope they walk right out in front of it. They're just trying to run around us and attack. More reinforcements are on the way, and our half-track is here too. Let's kick that into gear. Oh, there goes that damn mortar. Oof. That's pretty zeroed-in mortar. Pull back, boys. Ah, forget it, it's useless. Soviets took a little bit of the high ground. We should have a medic here. Let's get him up here. And let's see if we can get our troops to the higher ground over this way. Sanitäter los! Should maybe only have taken one wounded. Maybe one casualty if that man double times it. He might not make it in time, but that's okay. Against a mortar, I expect a few losses. I see some movement in those bushes. Well, looks like that man's no longer with us. This guy will probably be the same. So we'll keep the medic with our advancing forces here. And let's get our Panzer Grenadiers up to the crossroad. And that might be a very good spot for us to put AT eventually. Alright, looks like both those guys are down, but we do have a medic here now. And I think we're going to need some more. So let's call up another medic. Another Strauss troop and Wehrmacht. Infantry, very important here. Very powerful, too. German infantry, very good at attacking. Except for tanks. Very scary tanks. We got to stay away from those. Even the Fallschirmjägers and Panzer Grenadiers don't have a lot of weapons to deal with those unless they're essentially right on top of them. Okay, we've got some of our tank destroyers here. Let's get those rolling up. I think that's actually a Hungarian vehicle. I think, are those Hungarian crosses? I'm not as familiar with the Hungarian military during the time. Alright, let's cover all of our bases here. Alright, a T-34 57 seems to be rolling up. bail out of that half-track. Uh-oh. Roll this back and give a shot for the martyrs. Well, that's good. 2 PaK 40s and another 76mm coming through. And that seems to be a Molotov that was thrown in the background there. Against a T-34-76 that is not even paying attention to our tank destroyers. That tank was able to get pretty far without not getting knocked out. Yeah, the additional infantry is here. Continue to push right. And where's that medic? Good. Okay, I think the Panzer Grenadiers are ready to take the position. Most of these guys are dead. Let's get you two up here. And the rest of you to the base of the hill. Oh, we actually had an AT rifle with these guys. Cool. Alright, mortar eliminated. Looked like their AT gun fired, but I don't know what it may have tried to shoot at. Looks like they did knock out the half-track, not a big loss. Infantry is more important than vehicles. Much more important. Well, Soviet reinforcements again. Alright, let's try to capture this first vehicle. First flag, rather, and destroy that AT gun. There we go. And just flank that AT gun and we're good. Don't think they'll be able to aim the gun in time. Gun destroyed. Oh! Soviets throwing their grenades back at us. Let's try to do this quickly. If we can get a couple of medics up here, everyone can survive. I don't want to bring up all of our troops due to the fact that they have an AT gun, and that's essentially like it may as well be a grenade thrower. Send it, Tata. Get in there and rescue that man. Man, you guys haven't cleared this position? There we go. Alright, that is it for today's episode, everyone. Thanks very much for showing your support. I will see you guys next time. After this flag has been captured, we will continue our advance, and it's only going to get harder from here. It's all going to be a dice roll as to whether or not the Soviets play nice. So, thank you everyone for your support. I'll see you next time for the completion of Operation Typhoon. Goodbye, everyone.